quiet. We're live. Woo! What's up? Let's see how this goes. Haven't been live on YouTube in a hot minute. Woo! I'll climb over everything that's in here. All right. Well, thank you to anyone who's tuning in after the live stream. I'm working on building out these hatchling enclosures. These are the nano reptibri, so they're 10 by 12 inches. Some of them have these backgrounds on them. Some of them fell off, so we're taping them on. So that's step one in this whole process. So we'll see if anyone tunes in. What's up, Emerald? Demon J, hello. What's up? Happy Saturday. We're working on building out some enclosures, so you're welcome to come hang out. You can ask questions, give me updates. I did this on TikTok last week, so I'm doing it on YouTube this week. I would love to have one of the hatchlings. Well, you're welcome to join the wait list. It's on my website, neptunethechameleon.com. I have a little application, and if you fill it out, then you can be on the wait list. And then I'll be reaching out to folks once they've actually hatched and are like healthy and good and all that stuff. And so yeah, you're welcome to. How many babies are there and when will they hatch? So right now I think I have 41 eggs. So hopefully 41 babies. It's common for not all of them to hatch out. So I'm fully prepared for that. Where's the background? And when will they hatch? So they incubate 6 to 9 months. So that could be as early as March, April, May, June, or June, somewhere in there. It's not an exact science, but somewhere in there is when we would expect to hatch. So February is kind of my last month to get all these enclosures ready to go. And you can imagine 40 enclosures is a lot of enclosures. So they have these cool backgrounds on them. I'll remove this stuff on the front so you can see what they look like. Do you guys have any chameleons? Emerald, the big fat chameleon. I expect that's what, a veiled chameleon would be my guess. Peeling off this cover. Ugh. Yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. How can I see how many people are here? 6 people! Woo! Not gonna lie, when I do TikTok live streams, there's definitely more people that will join, because TikTok will just like, hey, you might be interested in this live stream. And so random people will join in, which can be fun. You say, yep, I have another veiled and a Jackson's. Oh, awesome. Do you have any references for CB Broxia breeders? No, I don't. I don't know anyone who's captive breeding them right now. All the ones I know are wild caught. There we go. Over there. Okay. So this is what they look like with the cool outer space background in there. I went outer space because they're Neptune and Venus babies. So how can I show you guys? What's the best angle for this? Maybe if I go like this, then you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I put paper towel on the bottom. Oh, I just tore that. I will save that for later use when I do my dishes. Make sure I'm not missing any comments that come in. There you go. So we put the paper towel in there. Maybe I should tilt this down. Whoa. Dink. As you can see that. So paper towel bottom, nice and easy for cleanup. And then now comes the fun part, sticks. So I had a stick earlier. This little stick. Let's see. So exciting. Welcome to the next generation. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this has been a welcome to distraction. This is my first time really on YouTube in a long time. So just snap them. Let's say my partner chameleon. I'm guessing that's supposed to say panther chameleon. Panda Chameleon sometimes doesn't grip the branches all the way when he's under the heat lamp. I think he's just being lazy because he has a strong grip. Have you seen this? Yeah, they'll like sometimes just like chill out. You do want to make sure that they do have a strong grip though. But I've noticed that they'll sometimes just kind of like hang out there, especially when they're basking. Are you keeping any? Yes, I will be keeping some of the babies. I'm thinking maybe 2. Don't quote me on that though. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep 10. That would be a lot. I don't plan on keeping 10 of them. But, okay, so we have these sticks. They are birch branches. They've been washed from outside. I just wash them with soap and water. So I just kind of eyeball how long it is and then break it and hope for the best. Then I just put them in the enclosure. What's the other question? Do you have or had any non-chameleon reptiles? Yes, I have a crested gecko. It's over there. His name's Pluto. He doesn't make it onto YouTube very often. Sometimes I do like YouTube shorts. But I've had, how long have I had Pluto? I got him in 2018, January 2018. So I've had him for quite some time. Was that 7 years? Yeah. I have had him. Okay, yeah, that was the last question. Cool. Make sure I'm not missing anyone's questions as I'm doing this. Sometimes live streams are hard when you're multitasking. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. Just adding in these branches. But then I have these little nubs. I just go, whoop, pick them up later. Just measure it out, snap it, hope for the best, and then put them in there. Just like that. Nothing crazy. Pluto is an OG. Exactly. If you know, you know. So funny hearing your experiences with him and why you don't hold him. Yeah, I don't hold him. He hangs out. He does his crested gecko things. Let's see. Can I feed my sub-adult veil chameleon large dube? Yes. So we actually talked about this in a recent podcast episode. If you don't know, I have a podcast called the Wild Type Podcast. And I talk about how people ask me questions like this. And my response is, I don't know how big your chameleon is, and I don't know how big a large is, right? Because every company like does slightly different sizes. But what I can do is give you a good rule of thumb. And the rule of thumb is you don't want the bug to be any bigger than the width between their eyes. So as long as that's an appropriate size, then I say go for it. If they're too big, then maybe find a smaller size. Okay, so we're just wrapping this fake plant around here. I am using fake plants for my hatchlings. I think that looks good. Got it. Whoa. Put it in there. Ta-da! One down. A lot more to go. What do you think would be the most inconvenient species of chameleon to keep? Inconvenient? Any giant Parsons chameleon, because they're very big, so they require large enclosures. This is too small. Yeah, I would say that's probably the most inconvenient. Jackson's could be inconvenient. If inconvenience is an interesting word, would be inconvenient because you have to have the temperature drop at night. So that could be hard for some people. Let's see. Hey, love, your vid's excited for this baby. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long journey to get here. So appreciate the support. Most inconvenient. Yeah, no one's asked me that. Those would be my answers, though, off the top of my head. Anything that's really big or requires challenging temperatures. So I already put glue dots on these backgrounds, but then some of them have fallen off. Like this background came off. So I think the glue dots just aren't enough for the gravity. So I've just been taking a big piece of tape. And that seems to be keeping it secure. But now I need to put one more on this side. Where'd you go? There you go. They just fall on the floor. So I gotta reattach them. If you guys have any questions about chameleons, let me know. I'm gonna add these on here. Beep. I added all these backgrounds live on TikTok just for some of them to fall off. Like I said, I put little glue dots on the corners. I just don't think they're strong enough for gravity, but nothing a little tape can't fix. Ooh. Then we'll add in the paper towels, the branches, the plants, and then move on to the next one. I still have to add the lights and the misters. Not gonna lie, the Mist Kings are gonna be a pain to install. I really dislike installing Mist Kings, but I know it'll be super nice to have it all set up, and the babies have to be on a different misting system because they're obviously smaller enclosures, so I can't do the same as I would for larger enclosures. Our subadult isn't fond of dubious, not sure why. Okay, Ryan, I made a video. Tips on getting your chameleon to eat dubia roaches. Highly recommend you watch that. Let me grab some. I have a lot of branches. Look how long this one is. But I can talk through some of the tips. Biggest one is making sure that the dubia roaches are moving around, because chameleons are attracted to movement, right? So if you just put like 5 dubias in there and you put them in a cup, they're just going to go off and like hide in the corner. So put a bunch in there, like 15, 20. It works really great too if you can put like a superworm in there with them, because then the superworms move around a lot, and that could be good for your chameleon. And sometimes chameleons that's too small. Sorry, answering questions and multitasking. Sometimes chameleons like the treat bugs, and so they'll kind of like hold out for the treat bugs. So you may have to go a couple days, if not a couple weeks, before your chameleon will start eating them. Neptune went, I think it was like 3 weeks without eating. I'm currently adding branches to my first enclosures. Your videos have been incredibly helpful. Thank you. You're so welcome. Yeah, attaching branches in a screen enclosure is not easy, as I'm literally doing it right now. Where do you find the material you put on the sides for a 2x2x4? Are you talking about like kind of like the vinyl backgrounds? In which case they're from petbackdrops.com. I'll say it again, petbackdrops.com. I also have them linked on my website, and this one just kind of is like split, so I might just break this off. And I have a discount code, Neptune10, saves you 10% off your order. So thank you if you decide to use that and shop there. Are you planning on selling these baby chameleons? Yes, I'm expecting around 40, and I will likely keep 1 or 2 for myself, and then I will be selling the rest of them to good homes. Wooden dowels and push pins work to hold branches in place without ruining the screen. Yep, absolutely, you can do that. Other option would be to use zip ties and like have fishing line. It's hard to explain. I have a video about how to attach branches in a screen enclosure, and I do mention the push pin method, so I appreciate you mentioning that, because that can be a good option. Okay, making sure I didn't miss any questions. So for each baby enclosure, I'm doing like 4-ish branches for now, and then I'll probably go back in and add in more branches with the leftover ones I have. But I think that's a good place to start. Let's see if I can put this one in here. Oop, knock that one over. You rock, never change. Thank you. Quark Moose is just hyping me up. I appreciate you. Okay, there we go. Oh, my computer's putting up a notification. Haha, see? Use this one for the next one. Then we have our fake vine. Had to go get some more of these today. And then I'm just weaving them through. Nothing super specific here. And then once we feel like that looks good, just a little snip. And we're done with that one. Oh, I gotta take off the plastic wrap. How many people do we have? 13 people. Let's go. Happy, what is today? Saturday. Happy Saturday. Whoa. I was going to be doing this anyways, so at least I can hang out with some people. My dog's keeping me company. Oh, I ripped the bottom. Oh, can I salvage it? Nope. That's just like a little bit of the wrap on there. I may have to get tweezers and deal with that later if I can't. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna spend the time right now to do that. Let's see. So one of my commands escaped and has been gone for a month. I've moved everything in the room and left food double checked everywhere. What do I do? Okay, I actually have, so funny you say this. Here's the enclosure. I have a video on what to do if you lose your chameleon, because you'll be surprised how often this happens. And a lot of people are like, oh, chameleons don't climb very fast. And then they leave them unattended, or the enclosure door slightly open, whatever happens, right? And they escape. They won't come to food, but check up high, check in closets, check behind like your TV or cables. They like to grip on things. Check your curtains, like your windows. A month is a long time though. Yeah, those would be my suggestions, and check out the video because I listed off other things, but that's what I remember. Don't forget to like the video. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I started with floral wire, but moved to zip ties. They seem to be more secure and take less time. Also, the wire was doing damage to my screen. Yeah, the zip ties work out. I'm not using anything for these, though. I'm just wedging them in there. But I'm working with hatchlings, right? Like, they're not going to weigh very much. So I'm hopeful that those will be okay. Put you up. Okay. See my dog. He's right here. Hello. She's like right in between my legs. How much were those enclosures? So Zoomin actually gave me all of these for free. So shout out to the Zoomin team. Appreciate you. But they retail for like $30 each. So you can do the math on that one. Okay, let's see. We can do this one next. Ember, you gotta move, honey. You're right where I need to stand. Let's see. Would be some alternative reptiles that have similar care to chameleons? Ooh. No one's asked me that question before. Most people ask me, like, what reptile to get before you get a chameleon or something like that. What has similar care to a chameleon? So what would be an arboreal insectivore? You say similar care to chameleons? I would say New Caledonian geckos have similar care in that they need vertical enclosures, higher humidity, lots of branches, lots of plants, and they eat gecko food in addition to bugs. So you're still dealing with live bugs. Ember, you're standing, you guys can't see this, but she's literally right between my legs. Thank you, honeys. Okay, back up. Beep, 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 beep. Stand literally anywhere but between my legs so I can move around. Okay, what does this say? Cuban false chameleons annul. Oh, I could see that too. I don't know the care of a Cuban false chameleon. I get asked about them every couple of months because people see I do chameleons, so they ask if I know anything about Cuban false chameleons, but I honestly don't know anything about their care. But I would certainly look into it. Why not? Take other people's recommendations. Lots of people keep lots of reptiles. Okay, we've got the backgrounds in. Ta-da! So these would be good because they create visual barriers. They will help hold in the humidity and the mister, so I don't have like spray going out everywhere. Plus, they just like look wicked cool. Yeah. Okay. To not miss any questions, put my paper towel in. What's crazy is this is only like 25 enclosures, and I have like 40 eggs right now, so I have a lot more to do. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get it all done. Just try to do a couple enclosures at a time. This is good. You guys are helping motivate me. Where did my branch go? Hello. Okay. So we just measure with our eyeballs. Say it looks good enough. Snap it. And hope it fits. Perfect. Same thing. Eyeball it. Snap it. And put it in here. Okay. Wonderful. 2 branches in there. My Panther Tango passed away after 4.5 years. Tried my hardest. What do you see for average lifespan Panther commands in good housing? 5 to 7 years is the textbook answer. Neptune was just a couple months short of 7 years himself. So I would say that's about average. 5 to 7 years. So 4.5 is pretty close to that. I was going to name my new Chameleon Neptune. Is that okay? I can't be the one to tell you that. My opinion is there's one Neptune the Chameleon. So I won't be having like a Neptune Junior or anything. So that's just my stance on it. Yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject, not gonna lie. No one's asked me that yet. There's a lot of firsts and a lot of different ways to deal with grief. You guys probably have noticed I haven't filmed any YouTube videos that are like my normal style, and I just haven't been able to do that yet. Been doing lives. I've been doing a lot of shorts, a lot of voiceovers, but I haven't actually stood in this room and stood in front of the camera. So I don't know when that'll happen. I'm hoping soon. I have lots of videos I would like to make, but you can imagine just kind of like the toll that takes. I don't know if that's the right word. Just like the headspace you have to be in. Pet loss is hard in any regard, but pet loss in the public eye is a different set of challenge. Yeah, we're still working through that, you know? Okay, adding some plants. I will say these baby enclosures and prepping for all this is a very welcomed distraction, and warms my heart in knowing that Neptune's legacy will live on through these babies. So, yeah, we're just taking it day by day. Let's see, what does it say? You have inspired and educated so many people and changed the lives of so many chameleons out there. For real. It's very special, not enough quality info like you've done. Thank you. That really means a lot. I appreciate it. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into all this. Just the tip. There you go. Okay. What are your thoughts on people taxiderming their pet reptiles after they die? I think everyone has their own way of kind of like preserving their preserving their animals. I have to show you guys. Let me see if I can move my computer down. Look at my dog. She's just hanging out here. I'm like, how am I supposed to like move or get anything done? Hey, sweetie. Why do you have to stand right here? Oh, I'm cracking up. Okay. I think if people want to, I don't know if that's far enough. If people want to do that, now my head's chopped off. By all means, not my style. My friend Lissa's Lizard, she didn't taxidermy, but she did, I think it's called skeletal articulation, where it's like the bones are displayed. A lot of people do like what specimen with reptiles. Yeah, it's whatever people want to do, however they best want to like honor their animals. I chose to just do a paw print in clay for Neptune, and that's what works for me. So everyone's got their thing. I'm cool with that. Okay. See these backgrounds, man. They just need extra support. Ember, move please. Thank you. Just not in between my legs. You can stand anywhere else. Anywhere else is yours. Well, our Cams, Neptune, and Tango are climbing around in the canopy in heaven together now. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, there's something special to be said of like your pets. I don't know, being like reunited. I don't know. Everyone's got their own beliefs on things. Have you ever experienced burnout when taking care of chameleons? No, actually. But I've only ever had 4 chameleons at a time, and I think this may be a unpopular opinion. I don't know. I think chameleons are pretty low maintenance, so I don't have any issues with it. All my stuff's automated. My lights, my misters are automated. Once you have adults, they're only eaten a couple times a week, so I've never gone to the point where I'm like, I have to take care of them, or I don't have enough time, or I feel like I'm not spending enough time with them. Like, they're also like not a species that is dependent on social interaction or things like that, like some other animals are. So I haven't experienced that, but that's a great question. No one's asked me that. I'll be curious to see how it goes with these babies, though, not gonna lie, because they're gonna be a lot of work to take care of, and that's gonna be daily. And like, I love these backgrounds. It's gonna be a couple times a day, right? Like feeding them twice a day, poop cleanup, water changes, just like making sure everyone's growing, feeding, all of that. And it's just like a quantity, right? And I like don't do this full time. Like, this is just like a hobby. So versus like full-time breeders, right? Where they like can spend their time doing that. I need a branch. Which branch? Go this one. Great point. Having lots of pets will burn you out more than just a couple. Yeah, and that's something we all have to be mindful of when we're considering getting another pet. Is like, is this going to enhance our life or, be like a drain? Also, like, if you already have one chameleon, having a second chameleon isn't a big difference in my opinion. But if you don't have any chameleons and then you get one, then that's going to feel like a big change. I feel like that's the same with like kids or dogs. So yeah, I don't notice a big difference. I will say once I have like 4 chameleons, then I'm like, okay, this is a lot of bugs that I'm having to like pick out. Oh, this one's too short, too small. Okay, I need another branch. Will you fit? Yes, you will fit. See here, break you here. It's nice because they're basically twigs, so I can easily break them with my hands. Okay, so there's 3. Need one more. I will likely be adding in more branches. We'll see. I've never had a hatchling, but I think 4 is a good place to start. Plus, they'll have the vine to climb around, so I think that should be. We'll see. I know Chameleon Academy just announced that he's going to do some tutorials on how to build out hatchling enclosures, and you best believe I will be attending all those sessions. How much thought goes into naming your chameleons? Well, Neptune was kind of like the one that started it all. He was my first chameleon. I had a list of names when I was naming Neptune. A couple that stayed that like I can still remember were on the list are Pixel, Pongo. Those are 2 that I know. I love Dalmatians. I obviously have a Dalmatian. So like Pongo is in reference to the Husbandry Dalmatians. So yeah, and then Venus, I already had the name Venus picked out before I got her. I knew if I got a female panther, I would name her Venus because I wanted another planet because it would go with Neptune. Pluto, I picked out also a planet, but I didn't know if my crested gecko was going to be a male or a female, and I felt like Pluto could be cute for either a boy or a girl. So I picked Pluto because I thought it was kind of like unisex. And then Luna, I got at the same time as Apollo, and the other contender was Wanda and Cosmo from like Fairly Odd Parents. I thought Cosmo went with Neptune and Wanda went with Cosmo because at the time Luna was pink, like a peachy pink, and Apollo was green. And like if you know Fairly Odd Parents, you know Wanda is pink and Cosmo is green. So then I was like, oh, that could go together. But it's funny because she ended up turning out green. But yeah. And then for the babies, I'm thinking maybe star names. I don't know what I will name I will likely keep a male. I don't know what I'll name the males. I'm like, do I do another planet? Do I do like Saturn or Mars? That could be cool. Yeah, that's how much thought goes into it. Just a glimpse into my brain. I will say having a theme can be nice and like hard at the same time. So it's nice because you're like, oh, here are my options, but it also can feel limiting, right? But okay, we'll add the big plant. These are just from Home Goods. No, I keep doing that. Hobby Lobby. Why is Hobby Lobby and Home Goods like the same thing in my brain? Two different places. I guess they do kind of have similar things. Not gonna lie, I got like a bunch of candy from Hobby Lobby because they have a bunch of their Easter candy right now. And I always love trying new candies. Okay. Huh? Pretty good. Okay. Where were you? Over here. Put you back up. Whoop. Look at that, guys. We're making progress. Okay. Do this one. Okay, now my dog's laying on the floor. That's good. It's cute because she's hanging out with me. Speaking of which, there's dog hair. Ember. Pros and cons to having a Dalmatian. Con. You have white hair and black hairs. You're like, oh, just get a black dog, and then you don't have to deal with all the little white hairs. Or just get a white hair dog, and then you don't have to deal with all the black hairs. And then here I am with a black and white dog, so I have to deal with the black and white hair. So no matter what you wear, it's covered in dog hair. That's just how it goes. I need to fix this one. Just readjusting these, and then we will tape them into place. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, though, leave them in the chats. I'd be happy to answer. Can you guys hear my music? I put a little music on, not loud. It's Odessa, if you like, kind of like vibey music. Last time when I was on TikTok Live, I played my music on shuffle, and there were some songs on there that I was like, ooh. It's a variety, man. I got throwbacks. I've got pop, hip hop, you name it. Okay. Ta-da! Has your dog ever attempted to eat your chameleons? No. One, I would never put either of them in a position to let that happen. And I had chameleons long before I had a dog. So when I got her as a puppy, I made sure to train her. And then I have this is like my reptile room. My adults are on this side, and then obviously the babies will be on this side. And I would never leave them like unattended. So when I leave the house, like she gets the house and stuff at this point, she's like 3. So I close the door to the reptile room. So she shows interest in like sniffing their enclosures, but she would never do anything. Never do anything to them. Just not her personality and all the other reasons I just said. These are not easy to get off. Some of them come off super easy, and others. See this? Got a little nubby left. My first only chameleon just turned 1-year-old, and it means it's been about a year since I started watching you. Oh. Without you, I don't think that wouldn't be the case. So thank you so much for all that you do. Oh, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Means a lot. It can be hard to be on the internet. So it's always nice to hear success stories and that what you do makes a difference. You know, I think we all like to feel that at some point. Okay, got the paper towel in there. My plan, because I'm keeping the branches up high, is to just be able to like swap out the paper towel. And I'll be able to easily see baby poops, which is the other reason why I want to do white, because the bottoms are black otherwise. So I feel like it would be hard to see teeny tiny baby poops. Because from what I've seen, the poops are like itty bitty guys. So break this off. See if this will fit. May have made it too big. Let's see. Oh, how long have we been here? 35 minutes. Going strong, guys. I average about, I think, 5 minutes per enclosure. I was timing myself before. Probably would be faster if I wasn't gabbing, but wanted to pop on YouTube because I haven't posted any like videos in a hot minute, but wanted to say hello, you know? What can I do to get chameleon legalized in Hawaii? So there's a lot of invasive species, particularly Jackson's chameleons. I'm not familiar with the laws in Hawaii, so I can't give too much advice on that. But is it illegal? Like, is it illegal to have a Jackson's because they're invasive, or is it illegal to have any chameleon in Hawaii? I don't know the answer to that. That's a question for you. I don't know the answer. Branches, check. Plant. There's the end of it. Whoop, there's a stick. Oh gosh, we're tangled. Save that stick. It's a good stick. I've been collecting sticks for quite some time to be able to have enough sticks for all the babies. All the baby enclosures. Yeah, like I said, not looking forward to having to do all the Miss Kings and all that, but I feel like it'll be really nice to have once it's all set up. So we're doing it. Got this. Snip. Oh, oh, there we go. Another one done. Ta-da. So you can't really like see me doing it, but then I'd be blocking you because I can't have to look in here. So only Jacksons are legal to keep in Hawaii. Oh, interesting, because there's just so many wild Jacksons. I don't know of any other state where it's illegal to have a chameleon. Here you go. Okay. Yeah, some people ask if I have to have like a permit. I'm like, nope, not that I know of. I think venomous species you have to have permits in some states, or they're illegal in some states, but not chameleons. No, not venomous chameleons. I'm just taping these because the glue dots, as you can see, I lost the background. Just fell on the floor. So it already has glue dots. I can still, where are we? Still feel them. I think gravity is just too much for the little backgrounds. But I got these off Amazon. They're like for people who want to do like Cricut printing for like stickers, but they're the perfect size, 30-10 by 12, which is the exact size of the background. So they're like super convenient for me because I don't have to cut them. But I had a few ideas, but this is the one I went with. I think it looks cool. I don't know many people who do like printed backgrounds for their hatchlings, for their breeder enclosures. Where did you get the cages? These are the Zoomid Nano Rep Deepries. Zoomid, Nano, Repti Breeze. They're all screen. On the sides, they have a screen little door on the bottom here, and then like an acrylic front. So, and then a screen top. So even though I wrap the sides, you still have plenty of airflow coming through the top and the bottom here. I do have them listed on my website if you're like, what did she say? Where do I get them? I'm creating the list of all the supplies I'm using for my nursery setup as I go along. I'm like adding to the list. So the backgrounds are listed on there. The enclosures are listed. The shelves are listed. The branches are from my backyard. So those are not listed. But break this off. I'm late to tune today, but we are planning on breeding our panther chameleons this year. Where did you get these enclosures? Oh, someone just asked that. Yeah, so, that answers my question. Perfect. Fur and scale siblings, what's up? Hello. Yeah, a lot of people are interested in breeding their chameleons, which is fantastic. Like, so excited for you to go on that journey. So big reason why I wanted to breed my guys was to kind of like wouldn't experience it, because a lot of people ask me about their hatchling chameleons, for anyone who like purchased an egg without realizing the like challenges that come with that. And I do my best to like share my advice 2 branches down, but I want to be able to experience it myself, but then also lead by example with like the platform that I do of like individually raising them and on doing small clutches. Like I only have 1 pairing. She gave me 2 fertile clutches. Venus is currently holding on. I'm looking at her. Holding on to a 3rd clutch. I don't know if that one will be fertile until she lays them, but I want to kind of like show best practices for doing this. So come along for the ride. Have you ever attempted to breed a chameleon with Neptune? Yes. That's why we have all these enclosures. Yeah, I bred Neptune. Oh, closure lights just turned off. I bred Neptune with my female panther chameleon Venus. Now we have eggs that are incubating. So here we are now setting up all the little tiny enclosures, because each chameleon will get its very own enclosure. Let me just turn this light on. There we go. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Yes, I have bred Neptune. That's why we're here. Does this stick? Let's see if this will work. Any tips on keeping a crested gecko? Let's see. What are some tips? I don't usually talk about crested geckos. Look at my crested gecko's enclosure. I'd recommend a PVC enclosure. Mine's glass. It's the 18-18-36 skyscraper, and it's heavy. I think this is just going to be too thin for this. So I would go for PVC because that'll be lighter. Get an automatic misting system. That's true of any reptile. It just makes a really big difference. But my crested gecko's on a separate misting system for my chameleons. Make sure you place their food up high. They're boreal, just like chameleons, so they like to climb around. Bioactive can be really great for a crested gecko because you have an enclosure that's got solid sides on it. Yeah, I don't know. Crested geckos are a lot of fun. Ta-da! So special to have the next generation live on with you. Cool to think that things like temperament can be passed on. Yeah, we'll see how many chameleons try to bite me. They take after their deck. They do say, I've heard this from a breeder, they said that feisty, use the word feisty, but like defensive chameleons make the best breeders. A passive, chill chameleon, while they can be a totally fine breeder, don't seem to have as much like gusto, for lack of a better way to describe that. So I was like, well, Neptune's got plenty of that. And sure enough, he was like eager from day one. Okay, let me put these plants in here. I would enjoy a chameleon that doesn't want to bite me, but you know, I did it once before. I'm not opposed to doing it again. Okay. How old do you plan on selling the chameleon? So minimum will be 3 months. Kind of depends when they hatch out. So where they hatch in March, that puts me March, April, May, June. So that would be okay. But if they hatch in April, that puts me in May, June, July. And July is hot for most places, so I have to be mindful of temperatures with shipping. So in which case, they might be older. Also, I might just sell them closer to 4 or 5 months anyways, just to kind of see their colorations a little more. So then I can kind of see which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to sell, which ones are males, which ones are females, all that kind of stuff. Just gets a little easier as they get older. So at least 3 months. That's the best practice, is a minimum of 3 months. So if anyone's selling chameleons younger than that, then it's like, gosh, this one's hard to get off. Okay, perfect. That helps. Cool. Yeah, people ask me for crested gecko videos. I will not be that person, but I'm happy to share some tips. Goodness gracious. This one's really on there. That was kind of hard, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Okay. There's 2 sides to it. Oh. Of course, that side comes off. Okay, cool. No problem. There we are. Another one bites the dust. Do you think I can finish all these tonight? That'd be a good goal. Then I can start working on the lights. Okay. Need another background. Oh, you need 2 more backgrounds. Just popping off like daisies. Okay. Perfect. Hi, Amber. You say hello? Does anyone know I have a Dalmatian? Hi, do you know why my chameleon is brown? And is it in his cage? And then when I take him out his cage, he has green. So chameleons change colors for a variety of reasons. Could be due to temperature. Could be due to defensive behaviors. Could be, those are the 2 most common ones. Could be stress related, but the brown is probably like his chill resting colors would be my guess. And then the green is more his fired up colors because you handled him and took him out of his enclosure. So doesn't mean it's a bad thing or good thing. It's just kind of like the colors, right? No biggie. All right, let's see. Need more. Stepping on sticks. More backgrounds. What does this sound say? I work at PetSmart and recently bonded with our veiled chameleon, and that's how I discovered your videos. I'm researching as much as I can while I save up and hope no one gets her before I get the chance. Aw, that's exciting. Yeah. If you haven't already, check out my chameleon kits. Those are like most bang for your buck. Maybe you get an employee discount, and maybe it's better for you to purchase with your employee discount. That totally makes sense. But if not, or for anyone who's watching or listening, my chameleon kit, the basic kit, is $269.99, and it comes with the 2x4 enclosure. Ember, get your head. Ember, hey, you know what I mean? Get your head out of there. She's putting her head in my trash bag. What was I saying? Oh yes, comes with proper lighting, your UVB, your heat bulb, thermometer, hygrometer, mister, supplements, feeding tongs, basically everything besides plants and branches. So it can be really good. And then the advanced kit comes with an automatic misting system, plant LED, and fogger, and that one's $584.99. Little more expensive, but then you get all the bells and whistles. Those are on my website, neptunechameleon.com. Hey, I've been watching your content for a while for my baby Camp Harvey. Also love the podcast for the girlies. Woo! Summer Scales, appreciate you. Yeah, the podcast has been a good thing for me right now with the Neptune stuff. So while I've not posted a YouTube video in a month, I have consistently been doing the podcast. It's called the Wild Type Podcast. I have it linked on my website and in the description of all my videos. So it's a girly reptile podcast. So it's like honestly my pride and joy, and something that I'm really thrilled with and excited to be a part of, and just like stoked to see where it goes from here. Okay, let me snap this one. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get your basic kit or basic kit to start out with. I don't think we have the 2x2x4 at my store, at least. Yeah, that's the challenge with a lot of the chain stores, is like they just don't even sell the correct supplies. I do think they may sell them online, but yeah, it's good. How long can the hatchlings have fake plants? Forever, long term. I'm doing it because I currently am getting rid of mealybugs. If I'm being totally honest, those things suck. And to just keep things sterile for the babies. Let's see if I snap it. Right there. It'll fit. But a lot of breeders will use fake plants. You can also use like one big live plant, but that can just be. There's a lot of things that go into it. If I had just one, then maybe I'd consider doing that, but I have 40. So we're just trying to be clean and efficient, right? So it can be easy to make sure everyone's healthy and good. Plus, I've never done this before, so I'm just making sure I'm setting myself up for success. Wait, you only put 3 branches in there. We need one more. I'm starting off with 4 per enclosure, but I have a lot more branches I think I'll have leftover, so then I can add in some more once I'm all done. Amber, please don't eat the sticks. I know you love sticks, but these are Mom's sticks. These are for the babies. Does this make my dog like an auntie? Is that a thing? Okay. Now we can add in the plants. And then we'll cut you right there. Ta-da! Oh, I had to take off the wrapping. What's up, Matthew? Thanks for joining. How's everyone's Saturday going? Man, these wraps are not, sometimes they're so easy to get off and other times they're like really hard. Let me see. That's the first word. So do I like put a lot of green plants for my chameleon so he turns green? Oh, interesting question. Who is this? Kevin? Kevin, so chameleons don't change colors based off of their background. That's a myth. I know, kind of crazy. So you do want to put lots of plants in there so they have places to hide and feel safe. But if you put a purple plant, they wouldn't turn purple. That's just not how chameleons change colors. They change colors based off of their mood, temperature, a way to communicate. Do you see how easy? I think it's the front one that's easy, and then the back one is like hard to take off, because that's not the first time that was like that. Ta-da! Thank you. I love your content. I have an egg waiting to see if or when it will hatch. What is its expected hatch date? Because I think when you buy an egg, they'll put that on there. Also, for anyone watching, I do not recommend buying an egg. If you have one, happy to help you, right? All this stuff is applicable to you. Just would not be my recommendation. Okay. Next. What kind of stand would you use to elevate a 2x2x4 cage? December 24th. So like a month ago? 2 months ago now? Oh boy. As long as it's still white and growing and looking good, then keep on incubating, girl. Okay, so what kind of stand? So the one I use is actually like a garage shelf from, I think I got it from Lowe's actually. But I have it linked on my website. I found it on Amazon, so you guys can just like grab the same one as me. But what's great is it has like slits in it, so then the water can fall through. So then I'll drill holes in the PVC floor, and then the water goes through the holes, through the shelf, and then I put a bucket underneath and catch it. So that works for me. We need another background. See how cool these are? Fitting for a clutch whose parents are named Neptune and Venus. I was originally going to name all the babies after stars. Still might do that, but that was back when I had 20 eggs, and now I have 40 eggs. So it's a lot of stars. And not that there aren't that many stars, don't get me wrong, but like some of the star names I cannot pronounce. So, yes, it's still white and looks good. So, yep, 6 to 9 months is the average. So, like, I don't know when they put the date on there. Do they say 6 months? Do they say 7, 8, 9? Like, that's just such a big range. So people keep asking me when they're going to hatch. And I was like, I wish I could give you a better answer. But all I can tell you is like sometime between likely March and June. But who knows? Mother Nature will do its thing. Okay, put this on here. Shoop, just like so. I have many questions if you do not mind. I just got a veil chameleon. The temperature was 70 to 80 and humidity 30 to 40%. Is that good? So for a veil chameleon, you're looking for about 30 to up to 50% humidity during the daytime, and then 70% or higher at nighttime. So you want the humidity spike so then the chameleon can breathe in the moist air that way. See, dog hairs. Temperatures, you want basking temperature of about 80 to 85. Ambient temperature in the 70s, and then nighttime temperature in the mid to high 60s, if possible. Watcha. Also, who is this? Matthew. I would highly recommend checking out my veil chameleon care guide. If you just search on YouTube, veil chameleon Neptune, I'll pop up. It's like 20 minutes. Everything you need to know, high level. And then you can go into all my videos if you want to learn just UVB, just gut loading, tips for handling, nighttime behavior, shedding, signs of a sick chameleon. I think every keeper should know the signs of a sick chameleon, so then you're at least aware. So yeah, ask away. Throw them in the little chat. I'll do my best to answer, but those are some good resources. How many times a day do I need to spray water in my chameleon cage? So this is dependent on your species and the natural humidity of where you live. But the most common recommendation is 2 times a day. Once in the morning for 2 to 4 minutes. I'd start with 2 minutes, and if you need to work up to 4 minutes, go ahead. Once in the morning before lights turn on, maybe like 30 minutes before. So if your lights come on at 8 a.m., then mist at 7:30, and then your lights will be on for 12 hours, so then they'll turn off at 8 p.m., and then you can mist a half hour after for another 2 minutes. Now, if you live somewhere super dry, then maybe you need to be misting closer to 4 minutes, and you need to be misting at 1 a.m. in addition to, those 2 times. Or if you live somewhere already humid, then maybe you just need to mist once in the evening. So that's why we have to customize it. Also, if you have a screen enclosure versus a hybrid enclosure, all these things are going to impact our humidity. So that's why it's a recommendation, and then you can customize it based off of what your chameleon needs. The Harry Potter was like, the Voldemort scene. Hi. I'm at a show right now, but if you stay on long enough, I'll come back and watch. I hope the enclosures are going well. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate you. Enjoy your show. I don't know if it's like a concert or what, but the fact they even popped in here means a lot. Okay. Matthew says, trust I've been every day. I just want to make sure I be well. I do know. I can't get over this Harry Potter. I can't even do the noise. You know what I'm saying, though? Where are my Harry Potter peeps at? Also, is anyone the type of person to watch a movie And then once you've seen it once, you like forget it. Because that's me. I have to see a movie like 3 times before I am like, oh yeah, that's what happened. And the second time I'm like, okay, I kind of know what happens, but then I'll watch something and I'm like, I forgot about that scene. So that's just me though. After doing so much research, it makes me sad because I know corporations don't do things correctly, so most of the customers aren't going to do things correctly either. I do my own research and I work there. It's crazy. I know a lot of people who work at Petco, PetSmart, Pet Supply Plus, you name it, end up like sending people to me. They're like, go watch Dance in the Chameleon. Go check out her kit. You know, set people up for success. We see this at expos as well. I'll be like at a reptile expo, which we're coming into expo season. I'm very excited. I love going to expos. And I'll see someone with a baby chameleon in like the kit, like the bad chameleon kit or something like that. And I'm like, ee! And I stop them. I'm like, hi, I'm Neptune the Chameleon. I like make YouTube videos. And they're like, who is this lady? Because they don't know who I am. They don't know I know what I'm talking about. And I was like, did you just get a chameleon? I'm like, okay, are you familiar with like what supplements and UVB? And then they're like, oh, well, the guy told us this. The person selling the chameleon, right? And it's like not correct information. And I'm like, okay. So, and I always carry Neptune the Chameleon stickers that has like my channel name on there, which is like my business card, basically. And I'm like, hey, all my stuff, all that. And so like they're always very appreciative. And I've also talked out a lot of people who like come for a chameleon and then leave without one because they're like, okay, maybe this is not, well, that's not the right pet for them, but like maybe they need to take a little more time to do research, you know? So, okay, we only have just a little bit left of this plant. The skin is pulling back a little bit on the face. The normal peeling skin looks a little white like dry skin. Yeah. So they might be shedding. It's really hard for me to kind of weigh in on that in particular because I obviously can't see them. But I would just look up reference pictures of like a shedding chameleon and then see if that looks right. Oh no, that did not feel nicely. Oh, this one's just not. Okay. Just not having it today. A pile of trash over there. You see, like this did not peel nicely. Let me see if I can pull it from this end. Yeah, ask me any other chameleon questions. Happy. Ooh! We're making progress. Yes. It's hard work, man. Okay. We'd be like, why are chameleons so expensive? Like, see all this that goes into it? I don't even have them yet. Okay. Put you back here. Oh, it's coming together. Look how nice. How exciting. Okay. Looks like the door is having shedding difficulties too. I know. Good Lord. Sometimes it's really easy and then other times it's like not having it. Put my little backgrounds on here. When did you get your first chameleon? I got Neptune in September of 2018. It's 2025. So, long time ago, it seems. But like not that long as well. So like, yeah, 7 years ago? Long time. But what's interesting is like, even though I've been keeping chameleons for like that period of time and I've had 5, 6. Yeah, I've fostered a few chameleons over the years. The thing that like really expedited my learning was talking to all of you, like mentoring. So like I've mentored hundreds, if not thousands of people on their Chameleons, and I get thousands of messages. So then I see lots of different issues and I give lots of advice, and that works. So I'm like, okay, that worked. I'm on the forums. It's just like a lot of knowledge condensed in like what seems like a short period of time. Or maybe 8 years seems like a long time. I don't know. It's all relative. No, it doesn't have dog hair. I have my in cocoa. Is that okay? Could you try and reword that question, please? I don't understand what I have my in cocoa means. Happy to help. Just gotta understand what you're asking. Okay. What? I missed a glue dot. Have no fear. There's more glue dots. Okay. Oh, stuck the glue dot to myself. Oh no, that has 2 glue dots. All right, that's fine. I can work with that. Okay, we gotta tape it. How long have we been here? 1 hour and 6 minutes, guys. Whew. How many hours do I think I've spent already building these enclosures? Well, it took me like an average of 7 minutes to assemble the enclosure. It takes me about 5 minutes to build the inside, and then probably another like 3 minutes to like put these little backgrounds on and take off the screen. Then I have to drill holes for the Miss Kings, install the nozzles, measure out all the piping, run that, build out the Miss King bucket, and then figure out all the lights. Then I have to do this is just me thinking out loud, feeding dishes for all the babies. Yeah, a lot of work. Worth it. I have the cage, and on the bottom of the cage is cocoa. Is that okay? So cocoa fiber is not recommended for chameleons as a substrate. So I would either do paper towels, keep the bottom bare, PVC, and do like potted plants at the bottom. Or you could go bioactive. Those would be my recommendations. But cocoa fiber is not really not my recommendation. I'm obsessed with these backgrounds, especially when I've been experimenting with like different lights, and it looks sick when you have like the UVB light and it's just like, so cool. Okay. I assume this was already asked a bunch. Oh, so maybe someone else can answer in the chat, but where were these cages from? These are the Zoomed Nanos. I don't have a box handy because they're all in my living room from building. I would sit in front of my TV and just sit there building these. Yes, they're the Zoomed Nano. They're 10 inches wide, 12 inches tall, and I do have them linked on my website. It's an affiliate link, so if you do shop through that, then I get a little kickback. That's true of all the links on my website, so thank you in advance to anyone who chooses to shop through them. Yeah. Where are my branches? I need a small branch, though. Hee. I just have a pile of branches. A lot of branches. Oh, they're Zoomed. I wasn't sure. Yep, these are Zoomed. There's lots of different brands you can get, and honestly, like full-time breeders or like big-time breeders or people who have been breeding for a long time end up getting different enclosures in the Zoomed. They get stuff that have like PVC sides, which makes sense, and then they like attach their branches differently, and so I think it's just different when you do it at not just like a large scale, yes, but also something that's more long term. This is my first clutch, so we're just learning as we go, and I don't know if I will have future clutches. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, to be determined. I've never done this, so could be really awesome and rewarding, or I'm like, okay, once was enough, and I just sell all these. I don't know, yeah, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. You're welcome, Matthew. No problem. Happy to help. It's what I enjoy doing. Got all these little twigs on the ground. Okay, put this. Ooh, is this one too big? Too big. Ah! Try not to puncture the screen. I just need to trim. This little piece. Just a little shorter. Okay. Perfect. Need one more branch. Make sure I'm not missing any questions. I feel like I'm keeping up with all these questions, so I think that's good. They all look really good so far. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're trying. I'm open to feedback, but I also, this sounds bad, but kind of open to feedback to anyone who has breeding experience, because I feel like building baby enclosures is a completely different beast. Because when I assembled my first one, I did it in the same way that I built out my adult enclosures and realized like that wasn't going to work for a baby, so I had to like redo it. Okay, I need more plates. Ta-da! So this is what I got from Hobby Lobby. Yep. See that? It is 25 feet of vine, so that I can just cut it and go. What kind of container do you keep your crickets in for gut loading? So I actually don't keep crickets. I feed everything but crickets, basically. So I do dubia roaches, discoid roaches, black soldier fly larvae, silkworms, waxworms, hornworms, superworms, black soldier flies, wax moths, hawk moths, and silk moths and blue bottle flies. A lot of things, just not crickets. But most people use like cricket keepers, I think. I just don't have experience with that. I can't wait to see the backgrounds with the light too. Thank you, Amy. It looks sick. I mean, here's just like a preview, right? Like, come on. With like a UV bead. Here, I was experimenting with this one. I'll plug this in. You guys want like a sneak peek? These, I didn't put the plants in yet because I ran out. I got some more today, but I ran out yesterday. Let's see. There we go. Huh? How sick is that? I mean, you're like kind of far away, but you get the idea. They look so good. So good. We'll leave that on. Why not? I think I may, right now the UVB bulb is directly on the screen. I may need to like lift it up a little bit. We're experimenting. But I have my solar meter so that I can like measure the UV index to make sure the babies are good. Where's the end of this thing? Oh gosh, it's like a ball of yarn. Ha! I got it. Assuming it will be helpful to be able to easily replace the paper towels, especially with the misting. Yes, that's why I'm trying to keep the branches floating. Because when I originally assembled them, I was having them go diagonal and like anchoring corner to corner. But I'm like, how am I supposed to take the like paper towel out easily and like move stuff around? So we'll see how it goes. These branches are just like pressure, like keeping them in. They're not like attached by anything. So it might get to the point where like changing out the paper towels, I'm gonna like knock over. Oops, I'm gonna take this tag off. Knock over all the branches. So. Well, Diane says looks good. Isabella, do you buy all of them online? So these were actually gifted to me by ZoomEd. So they sent them all to me. So nice. But they are available online. I just want to be like so transparent in that like I did not pay for them. But I have them linked on my website, neptunechameleon.com, or you can look them up. They're the ZoomEd Nano Recti Breeze. How many UVBs do you need? So the racks are 36 inches wide. So I got this is a short bulb. It's only 24 inches, but I got 36 inch fixtures to go across. So each level will have a UVB bulb. So I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, for these, and then I have like 20 more eggs incubating, so I'll have to do like a whole nother rack. So then I'll need probably like another like 4 or 5 more UVB bulbs. Yeah, it adds up. Those I did pay for, so those are not cheap. That looks awesome. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited with how it's all coming together. Okay, so we got that in there, and then moment of truth. We got to peel this little guy off. I think they meant you buy your bugs online. Oh, I do get my bugs online. Yes. I do buy them online. Those are also linked on my website. This is one of the hard ones. UVB is what I spent most on for sure. Although bugs do add up. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the cost of all the fruit flies. I am gonna try and breed my own fruit flies though. Where do I get my bugs online? Dubia.com, joshsfrogs.com are my top 2. And I do have, gosh, this stuff. 1 second. Take a break. I do have affiliate links. I'm an affiliate for Dubia and Josh's Frogs. So if you shop through my links, then that gives a little kickback to me and all the chameleons. So then I can buy them Mist King nozzles. Just like, I want to say it's $7 per nozzle. But you're like, oh, $7, no biggie. Except for we'll have 40 enclosures. So 40 times 7 ends up to be a couple $100 just in. Yeah, see, the front one is always so nice. It's that back one that's finicky. So yeah, it'll be a couple $100 just in Mist King nozzles. Because now I'm in the Mist King itself. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on messages. Yeah. My floor is covered in branches and plants. How many more do I have? 4 more? Do you think we can get 4 done? I think we can get these all done. Yeah, see, this is what happened after the glue dot. So what I've been doing is just re-putting them on here, and then I just tape them. Just to be like really sure that gravity isn't gonna knock them off. Fruit fly cultures are pretty easy to maintain. Yes, I have the supplies. I have the cups, I have the media, I have the Excelsior, whatever it is. But I've never done it. I've never bred? Is that the right word? Fruit flies? And I don't know at what point to do it because the babies could hatch as early as March, just next month. Or it could be June, just like quite a ways away. And you're supposed to have like your fruit fly cultures going like ahead of time. So it's like, at what point do you start doing all that? I do have local reptile shops near me that do sell fruit flies. So I'm like, worst case. So I'm thinking is I can just go buy some locally and then start my cultures once the eggs start like sweating. Open to ideas though, if anyone has any experience on the timing of like when you like to start your cultures for your eggs. Telling you, this tape works great though. My fan's blowing, so it just goes. Got it. Okay, backgrounds are re-secured. I mean, just looks good. Okay, paper towel. I can't put this one in there, so I have a pile of just singlets to just use later. Oh, don't tear. Please don't tear. Got it. Put it in the paper towel. Yeah, how are your guys this Saturday? Do you have any plans for the weekend? Did you do anything fun today? Were you building baby enclosures, or is that just me? Oh, this branch. I need to remember next time to bring some water. All this talking. I feel like it's like a gab and hang out, you know? Whew, it's a thick one. I'm building a custom enclosure now to house 2 chameleons. Interesting. Eli, I think that's your name. Are you gonna cohab them? Because that's not super common in the chameleon hobby, and most people advise keeping them separate. But if you have a 10-foot enclosure, then who knows? Maybe that would work out. Let's see. I think that. There you go. Oh, okay. No. It's just 2 enclosures separated but put together. Oh, okay. I'm following. People come up with some cool ideas, man. People do greenhouses and all kinds of stuff. And if you have the ability to custom build something, I say go crazy. Don't feel limited by 2 foot by 4 foot, you know? An hour and 21 minutes. This is going to be on YouTube later for people to watch. I don't know if anyone's going to make it this far into watching it. So if you were a person from the past, the future, I guess, after this has already been posted, put what should we have them do, guys? Should we have them put an emoji, a cupcake emoji? If you made it this far, then you can comment a cupcake emoji, and then you're in the cool cupcake crew. I have a huge sweet tooth. If you guys haven't been listening to the podcast, if you listen to the podcast, you know it's about me already. But if you don't listen to the podcast, this is news to you. I have a huge sweet tooth. So I will get cupcakes. I'll just go to the store and buy cupcakes just because I want a cupcake. No reason. No cause for celebration. I just genuinely want a cupcake. So I get one. Hey, look at it. See, you guys get cupcake bonus points. Was window. I feel like it's a long time for fruit flies. And if I was always breeding or always had hatchlings, and I would just always have fruit flies. But I literally have nothing else that will eat a fruit fly besides these babies. Because otherwise I have adults, you know? So what do you do? Okay. This one's done. Thanks, Eli. Thanks, Kathy. Your little cupcakes. So cute. Look at that, 30 of you guys hanging out. Love it. Now I really want a cupcake. Whew. Oh, this is coming off pretty good. Okay. Yeah. And I've learned the front much nicer than the back ones. Will the babies be able to see the fruit flies against the backgrounds? I don't assume so. I don't see why not. They'll hopefully be around a little. My plan is to put a little smashed fruit in there, so then the fruit flies will kind of hang out by that. Okay. We're getting there. Need my tape. I can't tell if they are glass or screen. So this is screen, and then has this little screen door here, and then this is acrylic. It's not glass, but acrylic because they're so light. Oop. It has a floor that just pops in there. So they are very light. Thank you for letting me know I took care of it, and my chameleon a little mad, but it's okay. Just want the best for it. Yeah, the best thing you can do when you're making changes to a chameleon enclosure is just like make them all at once. So then they can just get reacclimated. How many Miss Kings will be used? Now, who's this? American Girl. That is an excellent question. Ideally, 1 Miss King. Now, I have, here's right over here. Let me grab it real quick. This is the one I have. The starter misting system. I obviously have not set up yet, but this is supposed to, does it say on here? That is not English. I'm wondering if it says how many it can connect up to. But I think the starter is like 10 nozzles, but I'm obviously going to have like 40 nozzles, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try using this one starter Miss King, but if this does not work, then I'll have to get the ultimate, which is it's a bigger pump. So like the starter pump is like, there's a fuzz. Starter pump's like yay big, and I think the ultimate's like yay big. So like breeders who have like large facilities will use the ultimate mister, but currently I have the starter. I really hope it works, otherwise I will have to get the bigger one, and that's more expensive. What was it saying? Is there any reptile that can live in there for life? In here? I think micro geckos. Micro geckos could probably. I'm not super familiar with their care, so don't quote me on that. Let's see. You need to know their background. There you go. Yeah. What else could maybe like I feel like this would still be too small for like an anole, because even anoles are like decent size. Yeah, any micro species? Maybe a pygmy chameleon? But I'd probably go bigger even for a pygmy chameleon. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question I don't have the answer to. I'm running low on tape. Okay. What's next? None other than the paper towel. Yes, to hold on the baby poop. And it shouldn't they hold some moisture, right, from the mister, which will be nice. Matthew has something else. Just letting you know, compared to all the videos, I think you're the most helpful and most detailed out of everybody that has pets or reptiles. Thank you for posting your videos. My little brother got me into the hobby. Oh, I'm gonna cry. That's so nice. Thank you. I mean, that's a big reason why I started making videos, because when I got into chameleons, again, like 7 years ago, is that 7 years ago? 7 years ago, there was no chameleon YouTube channel. Bill Strand had what was called the Chameleon Breeder podcast, and like then you had pet tubers where they had like 20 other reptiles, and one of them was a chameleon. And then as I learned more about chameleons, I was like, a lot of this information is not accurate, or it's out of date, or I feel like you could say it in a way that's easier to understand. And I was super active on the chameleon forums, like writing responses. And I like had a little bit of experience on the back end of doing YouTube, but I've never been in front of the camera. And I was like, I think I can do that. So I made the Neptune the Chameleon YouTube channel like 6 years ago. Here we are. So that means a lot. It's been a long road. You are crushing it. Thank you, Aquatic Moose. Appreciate you. We are chugging along. Trying to get these branches in here. I'm just nervous for when these chameleons get bigger, and then they're just gonna like knock them all down. I agree with Matthew. I'm surprised she isn't named the Chameleon Queen. She is the best at what she does. Thank you. There's a lot of people on the internet who are mean to me, specifically Reddit. Yeah, they say some pretty horrible things. And I get a lot of mean comments, believe it or not. So I appreciate the support. It it's nice. Sometimes it's easier to hold on to the negative comments, right? Because they're just like, they sting a little bit versus remembering all the positive ones. So that means a lot. I use 3-tiered plant stand in my 2x2x4 and Green Bean loves it. Green Bean. I know a lot of males named Green Bean. It's cute. I hang plants off of each tier with S-hooks and then lean branches in about the plant stand. Yeah, that seems great. There's so many different ways you can add plants and branches. I get creative, you know? The world is your oyster. I just started. I've been watching all your videos, got my son a chameleon for Christmas, and have upgraded to a 5-foot tall enclosure now. I've availed want Jacksons next. Cool, Zach. That's awesome. Jacksons are great. I will, just like, if you're new to the hobby, most Jacksons are wild caught. Just being like totally frank, totally honest. So they're not usually my recommendation because it's so hard to find them truly captive bred. I'm trying to break this stick. Additionally, Jackson's chameleon require a nighttime temperature of like 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which can be pretty challenging for some folks to achieve in our homes. Why is this one not breaking? So, trolls are a rite of passage, apparently. Yeah, man. I've had many trolls and many rude comments, but welcome to the internet. Let's see. Build is not too friendly. I live in Michigan and there is a breeder here. Oh, cool. Cool. I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Some chameleons are more defensive than others. Where do I want to put this branch? Maybe I'll put you down further. I feel like a lot of people who say the negative stuff are the people who neglect their animals the most. I see it as being ignorant to facts. My thought is there's more than one way to do something, right? How I'm setting up these hatchling enclosures is one way, but then another breeder's going to do it differently and differently and differently. And there's more than one way to keep a chameleon, right? Like that's just reality, right? And I think some people get so caught up in like my way is the best way, right? And your way is wrong in all this, but like we should have open minds, right? And like, I don't know. I just think we got to be kind and nice. And there's enough mean people in this world that we don't need to be one of them, you know? Lead with kindness, lead with compassion, lead with empathy, and the rest will fall into place. You attract your tribe, right? If you're a good person, then I think with time, good people will follow into that. There you go. They all look the same. But slightly different. Let's see. You gave me confidence raising Green Bean. Oh, I couldn't have been a veiled mommy without your guidance. You're gonna make me cry. You guys are so sweet in these comments. I completely agree. It's kind of like being on a team. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, what is this? There's a tiny little metal piece. Don't know where that came from. Easy does it. A little tiny in there. I think also too, going back to the like, not necessarily trolls, but just like people who just like jump to conclusions or like are quick to be like, if you use glass, you're gonna kill your chameleon or they're gonna get an upper respiratory infection. I'm like, okay, you don't have the full picture. Like I got hounded recently on TikTok comments of recommending a T5, 5.0 or 6%, and some guy was like, this girl's the only one who recommends this and blah blah blah, which is not true, but I can see where he's coming from. But the thing is, like, you don't know what the person's enclosure size is or looks like, and so you have to have all of the information, which is why I prefer to do my video calls, because then I can get all of your care. I can talk to you, I can ask questions, you can ask me questions, but it's hard to make these blanket recommendations or assumptions without having the full picture. you know? So like when I make my recommendations, they tend to be on the conservative side and like what will be most likely to set someone up for success, if that makes sense. Okay, put you down here. Okay. This next one. I need to catch up on some comments. I switched from fogger to monsoon mister. What do you think is better? Misters are good for increasing your daytime humidity, and foggers are good for increasing your nighttime humidity. So neither should be used kind of during the daytime. You want to allow that enclosure to dry out. And which one you use is dependent on your species and the natural humidity of where you live. So if you live somewhere dry, then you may need a fogger to raise your nighttime humidity. Just grabbing this. Fell on the floor. And then if you live somewhere humid, then you might not even need a fogger because your nighttime humidity is fine with just like a nighttime misting. So they're tools, use them as needed, and like customize your misting schedule. Just monitor your chameleon's urates, their poop, that white cream part. As long as that's mostly white, then you're doing good. Take this up. Look at that, 27 people. Love it. How can I get those enclosures for my baby Jacksons that were born last week? Crash with a bang. They are linked on my website. They're the Zoomed Nanos. So they're 10 by 12. For like $30 an enclosure. So feel free to check them out. If you shop through my link, that does support me. So thank you in advance. I got a question. The light turned off. Do any of the lights keep the chameleon up? Certainly. So all my enclosures are on this side of the wall. I know the lighting seems bright. It's because I have a ring light that's facing me, so they can't see it. So they're actually pretty dark in there. But we want all lights off at night. And if you, like Neptune used to live in my living room where I had my TV, and like that was fine. I just wouldn't turn on my overhead light. Or a lot of people put their chameleons near their like computers, especially like PC gamers and stuff like that. Oh, Pluto's Mister is going off. So that lighting is fine. But you can always like cover their enclosure if it's like too bright for them. Okay, I already answered that question. I told myself to go to sleep whenever the lights turn off. All right, sounds like it might be bedtime. Does daylight savings time and switching clocks require changing the light and misting schedules? What time your lights are? Mine are 7 to 7 p.m., but Green Bean puts himself to bed. So I do sometimes adjust my lighting schedule based off of daylight savings. My thought is like when it starts to get dark outside, because I keep my window blinds open to like let in natural light. When it starts to get dark outside, then I'll have my lights start to turn off. So, and some people are scared to hear things that will undermine their current understanding. Not everyone wants to be a lifelong learner. That's how we stay growing. Oh yeah, man. Thanks, Preeley. Keep up the great work. Thank you, and congrats on your Jacksons. Not gonna lie, I've heard Jackson babies are really tough to keep alive, so I'm sending you all the good vibes. Any tips on how to get my chameleon to stop climbing the screen? He has tons of foliage and branches, no unused spaces, and proper lighting. And he still climbs. I also monitor humidity closely. Any idea why he does this? This is the thing that chameleons do, especially juveniles and baby chameleons. So my biggest piece of advice is make sure you raise your heat bulb up so that he's not ever sort of burning himself. And just be mindful that this is kind of something that they do. Neptune did it as a baby. Tons of chameleons do it. My only concern is like they can sometimes rip out their nails, and like that's not good. But you kind of can't, like, all you can do is give them things to climb on. Eventually, they'll get too heavy to flip upside down. Like their weight won't be supported and they won't do it anymore. So they do outgrow it, but it's stressful for sure. But if you raise your heat bulb up, then you're like, you know, they at least won't burn themselves. Okay. I need another background. Are we losing Matthew? Or are you sticking around? Eli says, I could be wrong, but did you once have a rescue Jacksons? No, I had a rescue veil chameleon. His name was Socks. He's a pied-veiled chameleon. His new owner renamed him. What did he name him? It was something with an M. Not Marshall. Marvin. Ha! Merlin? Marvin. Melvin. One of those. That's so bad. One of those is what he renamed him to. So. Why do my veil eat the leaves, but my Jackson's does not? This is a veil chameleon thing, for sure. Not to say other chameleons can't do it or won't do it, but it's definitely more common in veils. The idea is that in the wild, chameleons eat soft-bodied bugs. So think like moths and bees and flies, things that are flying around, right? They're not eating things like roaches or crickets. That's just what we have in captivity. Let me grab a branch. And so they'll eat plants in order to have what's called refuge. So then they're able to digest the soft-bodied bugs. Now, fast forward to captivity where we do feed them lots of bugs with exoskeletons, crickets, roaches, superworms, right? That they no longer need to eat this plant matter to properly digest their food. However, they're hardwired generations after generations of like having to eat plant matter in order to digest their food. So it's a behavior that veil chameleons do. And I expect over many generations of captive bred veil chameleons, perhaps due to, what's the word called? When you like evolve, evolution. When you evolve, due to evolution, then they will likely, I don't know, maybe they'll stop needing to eat plants because they won't actually need it anymore. But that's why they do it. That's why I worry about it. I have his heat bulb brace. Just want to see if you had any recommendations. I know without being able to see your enclosure, I can't really say. He's around 7 months. So yeah, eventually they'll grow out of it. Okay, now I remember I saw that video. It was really good. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't announced it yet, but I have a foster chameleon right now. You guys can be the first to know. I am not in a place yet to film a YouTube video since Neptune's passing, so I have not done that yet, but I do have a foster chameleon, and I'm deciding if I want to find him a new home or if I want to keep him. Undecided. Okay, let me put this, I want to move this branch a little bit. There you go. Pretty good. Out of all my lizards, I love my chameleons the most. Whoa! That's a big claim. Most is the same. I have all the gecko species, included my baby gargoyle and crested gecko that hatched this month. Oh, exciting! Yeah, I have a crested gecko as well. I obviously love chameleons. They're my favorite reptile, and I think people underestimate just how like expressive chameleons are, especially compared to the New Caledonian geckos. I think because chameleons' eyes are like googly, right, and move around, versus New Caledonian geckos have like the fused eyelids, so their eyes are just, they don't even blink the whole time, so it's like I feel like harder to see more expressions, and like us as people, like we tend to like resonate with that kind of stuff. So plus watching a chameleon eat, oh, come on. I mean, crested geckos that have little tongue, very cute, but it's not a chameleon. My chameleons interact the most. Yeah. See? And also, New Caledonians are nocturnal, right? So they're active at night. In fact, I can see Pluto right now in his enclosure. Whereas usually he's sleeping when all my chameleons are awake. But now all my chameleons are sleeping. Just looking at everyone's in their usual sleeping spot. I'm so thankful for you and your channel. We just got a young veil chameleon, and you were the only reason I felt confident enough to get one. Thank you so much for your knowledge. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. What kind of, you said veil chameleon, right? A young veil. Yeah, what's their name? What's their name? And are there any videos, like topics, that you're like, man, I really wish you had a video on blank. And like that I can like make it, I'm always curious from like new keepers who stumble across my channel, because at this point I have so many videos that I'm like pretty confident that I have a video on whatever questions you have, but sometimes like, or something was like, that was like kind of confusing. I'm like, cool, I'll redo it, right? I've redone videos. I've redone my supplements video, from a few years ago. Because, like, my channel's 6 years old. Is that right? When did I start? 2019? Yeah, so almost 6 years old. So there's some older videos for sure. Phew. Let's see. I didn't tell you, but I just got Rango yesterday. I just been setting up his cage the last 2 weeks. Yay! And I think Rango is a girl too. I got you. That happens. Ta-da! Okay. I think we've got one more. And then I gotta put plants in these in those two because I ran out of plants when I was building those before. So it's barely hanging on. Barely hanging on. Okay. Stick you on there. Just dog hair. Dog hair everywhere. Perfect. Yeah, we love your channel. I hope to meet you someday at a reptile show. I went to Westchester Expo this month and bought a lychee. Oh, exciting. How exciting. Yeah, the shows, I don't have any shows planned for February, but I have 2 shows planned for March. I'll be at NRBC Tinley. I think it's the second weekend of March. That's in the Chicago area. And then I'll be at NRBC Dallas. So I'm obviously in the Dallas area. And that's the last weekend of March. Okay. I'm missing one background. Where did you go? Where are you? I don't know. Where do I? Right, we'll just put this one on there. Also covered in dog hair. My daughter named him Pascal. We watched almost all of yours. I'd say some data as far back as 4 years. Are there any updated safe plant lists available? So Justin, if you go to my website, neptunethechameleon.com, I have a section plants, and in there I have a list of all plants I've used. They're safe to use. And I have plants for the top of the enclosure, a list of plants for the middle of the enclosure, and a list of plants for the bottom of the enclosure. Because I feel like chameleon keepers, we have the additional challenge of working with like 4 foot tall enclosures, and a plant at the bottom that needs a lot of light isn't going to do well. And a plant at the top that gets a lot of light or a lot of water, right? Like every plant has different requirements, different needs, right? Based off of the plant species. So I made the list based off of my own experience, like what plants do well for me. Do you have a video on how to set up a Mist King and what settings you recommend? So I'm not good at setting up a Mist King because every time I do it, it ends up leaking. I'm also not a handy person. And there's also lots of Mist King tutorials already on YouTube. So like, one, I'm not the right person to do that, and there's already existing content, so it doesn't really make sense for me to do that. I do, however, have a Mist King timer video because I do think it's confusing in how it's worded, and I think it's easy to accidentally set it up incorrectly. So I do have a video on that. And then as far as a video on how long to set up, you would find that underneath my how to water a chameleon video. What will you do if the eggs hatch before you have to be gone for Tinley? I know. Okay, so this is the thing. So I have some travel coming up. Oh no. And the eggs could hatch as early as March. And I'm traveling, right, in March. So my plan is to, well, I'll only be gone for a couple days. So it's next, the expo weekend is like basically Thursday to Sunday. So we're looking at like 4 days. But my co-host of my podcast, Lisa, her husband, Logan, will still be home. And so my plan is if the eggs start sweating or look like they might hatch, then I'm just going to have Logan go and check on them. And then hopefully they don't hatch. But if they do, I obviously will have all the enclosures ready, and then Logan can just get it on a stick and put it in there. And Yeah, I'm really hoping I don't have to have them do that because it's just a lot to ask someone. And that would be them hatching at the earliest, right? So like really, they shouldn't be hatching that early, but you never know. You never know. You're welcome, Justin. Love your videos, and thanks for the tips with Barney the other week. He unfortunately passed away. Oh no, we have now moved to live plants and brought a nosy Bora in after cleaning new Arcadia lights too. Oh, awesome. Sorry to hear about Barney. I'm in New York, but hope to visit the Legacy and Reptile Show out west. Cool. I have to meet you and all animal lovers on YouTube that I follow. Yeah, I'll also be a good place to consider doing that is Animal Con in Orlando. I think it's happening in October. So there'll be a lot of like YouTubers that come to that. I have a question for you. I'm running my fogger from 10 to 6 a.m. to keep humidity up during the winter. Is this okay as long as it's nighttime? So it depends on what your nighttime humidity levels are. That's a long time to be running your fogger, but if that's what you need to achieve 70% or higher, then so be it, right? So it's really just dependent on your natural humidity of where you live. I know that's not an easy answer, but could be fine. It could be too much. Could be too little. Just depends. I was freaking when my Jacksons had babies until I watched a video on them. Yeah, I don't have a video on Jackson, so you may have watched Chameleon Academy. Bill Strand, he has experience with Jackson's chameleons, so maybe it was his video. Now I'm curious, Rango was eating some bugs and some of the bugs on the cocoa. Will Rango be okay? So Matthew, this is exactly why I don't recommend cocoa fiber for this exact reason, because if a bug lands on the cocoa fiber and then your chameleon gets a bug, then they can ingest it. A little bit should be fine, but obviously we don't want that long term, which is why we just keep it bottom. Potted life plants are bioactive. Allison, hello. Which breed do you find marinates the best? Yeah, okay. Logan sounds like a trooper. I'm not sure my husband would do that for my own animals. Yeah, I know. Logan's a good one. Logan's a good egg. I got a veal chameleon 2 weeks ago because of you, and it's doing great. He's been sniping crickets from my hand, eating over 20 small ones. Oh, another chameleon named Rango. Classic. Rango, Pascal, green bean, wasabi, kiwi, Yoshi. Those are all pretty common names. Okay, about the branches. So I have a question. I have a panther chameleon egg waiting to hatch. Do I need a nano setup like those, or is it fine to go straight into the big setup? So Russell, you could go straight into the big setup. However, it can be hard to monitor poops and food. So maybe for your sanity, a nano could be a good place to start, but you could totally do the big one. Both are fine. As like, if this is your first time kind of doing it, I might recommend doing the nano. Until you feel good about them like eating and growing and shedding, and then you could like bump up to their larger enclosure. But it's not like one is required or something like that. It's just kind of, there's multiple ways to do it, you know? I have a veiled, his name is Rango. See, what did I tell you? Woo! This one's coming off easy. Explaining my Jacksons are live bears. Oh, yes. I know what you're saying. I don't know if it's odd, but I haven't named my chameleon. I have no idea what to. LOL. It's male. What kind of chameleon, Eli? I forget which kind you said. Yes, new to this. I will definitely do the nano first. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just nice to like monitor, you know, because like a hatchling's like have you seen the pictures of them on people's fingers like that, and then in a. Not to say you can't do it. It's just like I'd be freaking out. Personally, but it's not like it's wrong or like bad or anything. It's just challenging. That's also why I wanted to like, just I know a lot of people are buying eggs, and while my recommendation is to buy chameleons at least 3 months old and to not go the egg route, I want to be able to like, if you get an egg, then you could like do a setup like this, right? I actually, if I had an egg, I would do live planes. Because that'd be easier to monitor with one chameleon, but I'm gonna have 40, so we're doing this. Yes, new to this. Do you use reptile water conditioner? No, I don't. I have RO water filter system built into my sink in my kitchen, so I just use that. Okay. Those are good. Okay, so these are all done, but then these 5 just need plants. I added in the branches previously, but I ran out of plant. So I bought some today so I could add them in here. So then we can finish this. I just came from watching Punchy the Chameleon. What is Punchy the Chameleon? It's the movie. I don't know what Punchy the Chameleon is. Now I need to look it up. I was thinking sage. Yes, people do name their chameleons off of like shades of green. I always thought like emerald would be a cute like name for a female veiled chameleon. It would be cute. It's a veiled. I actually sent you a pic on Insta a few days ago. Oh, yes. I remember. Yeah, you asked if it was a male or a female. Yeah, he's cute. He's little. Little guy. Let's see. I have 3 reptiles. Wildlife adventures with Zach. What 3? Can I try and guess? I don't know. I don't know anything. I feel like 1 would be a gecko. 1 would be like larger lizard, like a desert lizard, like maybe like a skink or a bearded dragon or something. And maybe a chameleon, if you're watching my video. How long have I been here? Almost 2 hours, guys. Oh my gosh. Fingernail size when born. I know. Peanuts. Little thing. Phyllis would be a cute name for a female. Phyllis. Oh, it's like giving you like grandma vibes or from like The Office. Oh, that plant just fell. Yeah, that's not good. Or plant. Stick. We need a new stick on aisle 3. Okay. Did I miss any other comments? Do you have any particular time you feed at? I heard it's good to do 15 minutes before lights come on. I wait till they have a chance to kind of like wake up a little bit, bask a little bit. So, but like when I have to go to work and stuff, I just put their cup of food in there and then they eat it, when they're able to. So I prefer cup feeding. That works out good. Good for me. That's a much better stick than the one that was in there. Add in the plants for the babies. Then I want to get some ice cream. Let's see. I was going to name mine Jade, but since he's a male, I don't know anymore. Jade? Yeah, because they're green, right? If not Jade, Jason? I don't know. I have the foster chameleon I have right now, and I'm trying to come up with a name for him. I have an idea, but don't want any of you guys stealing it. No, just kidding. I haven't decided. I think I know a name. It's just not outer space. So I'm like, is that okay? Can I have a chameleon that doesn't have an outer space name? Is that off-brand? I don't know. It's kind of weird because you guys can't see this side, so it's just like I'm feeding this plant in here and you guys can't see it. You can't see it. Snip. Okay, that one's done. How was your other chameleons? They're all good. All good. Luna and Venus holding down the fort. Just us ladies these days. Okay, let me put this down here and take these guys to add some branches. I have a bearded dragon named Me So Hungry. He eats like a horse. Lucy's a good name for the rescue. Okay, but it's a boy, so Lucy won't work. My veiled names are Barge and Hover. Stop, that's cute. I love couple names like that. Let's see. I have a chameleon, turtle, and a bearded dragon. Okay, I got 2 of those though. I said bearded dragon, chameleon, and then I said a gecko. So turtle. Close. I have my chameleon for over 3 years now and never made a mistake till last Christmas. I shot his tail in the door. Left it for like an hour. Oh, no damage though. Okay, that's good. Oh, you meant lucky. I can see where your head's at with lucky. These branches are just too short. I see where your head's at with lucky. Like you got rescued, so you're lucky. But because I know the chameleon, I just don't think lucky fits his personality. So might have to save that one. Save that one for a different chameleon. I have a chameleon and a cresty. My cresty stresses me out though. I feel that. It's so funny. These branches, I did these enclosures a couple of days ago, and so I'm getting better at wedging these branches in here. So these are just not as snug as my other ones. I'm just replacing them. Look how long this branch is. We'll have to see it. Okay, what did I miss? We have a redfoot tortoise, river cooter, and as of 2 days ago, a leopard gecko. Cute. Yes, rescued a little soul. Don't matter, male or female. I see what you're saying. I by the UVB reader. Can't wait to get tomorrow. Oh, awesome. Yeah, solar meters are nice. This branch is just so big. I'm trying to break it off the right size, but it's just so stinking big. Okay, this one's gonna be it. Leg snapper. Okay. Please be the right size. This is a good branch. Oh yeah, nailed it. How long till they hatch? Could be as early as March, but they incubate 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months. So March is 6 months. So could be later. Okay, let's see if I can snap this one in the right spot. Oh, whew, that one made me nervous. I have a chameleon, bearded dragon, and leopard gecko. That's a good mix. Bearded dragon would never stop eating if she didn't have to. I know. Some reptiles, man, they just go hard on the food. There we go. Those branches are much better. Do you have an opinion on having Australian frilled as pets? If you know what that is. I do know what that is, and I don't know enough about them as pets. If they're Australian, my understanding is like Australian, like, is it Australia that like doesn't do exports, or is that somewhere else? Or maybe I'm misremembering. I thought someone like didn't export. Yeah, I wouldn't own a frilled lizard if that's what you're asking. Not for me. You want them, you get them. I don't know. It's not mine. I'm with the chameleon lady, you know? I'm more of like chameleon tortoise vibes, you know? Do not have any interest in a frilled lizard. Not for me. Okay. I might have to redo the branches of this one too. If you want to stick with space names for the foster, the obvious is Jupiter, Saturn. Other options could be Nova or Comet. Huh. I know. I also am like anticipating. Yeah, this is not going to work. Anticipating keeping chameleons from this clutch. And so I like want to make sure I have some names set aside for them as well. So we'll see. Comet's cute though. I haven't thought of Comet. What else did you have? Jupiter or Saturn? I know Mars could be cute too. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot of these names, Amy, and I will save them to reference later. Save to photos, because I will forget them. That's just, I'm doing too many things at once to give this my undivided attention. Hi, Vera. What's up? Question. Rango eats no problem when I get him. I saw him drink when I buy him, but second day he's not drinking. So, like, he's in the acclimation period. It's very common for chameleons to eat the first couple of days, and you're like, yay, they're eating, and then they don't eat for like a week. So just give them time. It takes about 2 weeks. So, especially if you're making changes to the enclosure and stuff, just like give them time. Give them time. What is 30 people? There's more people here now than there was before. A beer dragon is Australian. Yeah, I know, but you also have like skinks, right? Skinks are from Australia, so I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Kimchi? Oh yes, I do know a lot of food names for chameleons. Kimchi, mochi, wasabi. Wasabi's like a common veiled name because they're green. Oh, this one's pokey. There you go. It takes a long time for my chameleon to shed. The older he gets. Yes, that's very normal. As babies, they shed in like days, not days. I meant to say hours. In hours. But then as they get older, it'll take them a couple of days, sometimes even a couple of weeks. This is very normal. I promise. So don't stress, because they're growing slower, right, than a baby is. So it's going to take them longer to shed. Very common. And they'll shed less frequently. So it'll take them longer to shed and then less often. Oh, are you asking for a payment for the babies or just an application? Just applications. No payments. I will not be taking payments until I actually have babies. And then, so there'll be like application, then do like interviews and everything, find some good fits, and then a deposit. And then once they're ready to go home, then you can like pay full price. Is what I'm thinking. It's my first time, guys, doing this, but I think that's like a good plan. You let me know. But it's just an application. You could change your mind, no worries. But people are like, how do I get one? How do I go? So I made it easy, right? Just put your name on the list. It's basically a wait list, right? All right, that one's good. I never put together you name them all after planets. Cool. Yeah. You say you'll never round names. Well, there's only so many planets in our solar system. So like Luna is not a planet. Obviously Luna is in reference to the moon. So they're outer space names, but not just, so it doesn't have to be necessarily a planet. They're just outer space names. But yes, they are all a theme. Started with Neptune and just went from there. My chameleon was miserable and I had no clue until I watched the videos. You're welcome. Thank you. I have 2 chameleons and my brother has 1 leopard gecko. Cute. I love it. What are their names? Why does my Jacksons take longer to shed than my veiled? There's a multitude of reasons that could be influencing that. Age and size being like biggest ones. If they're the same age or not. Yeah, this branch is too little. Okay. Move you down. Ugh, this branch. Come on. Thank you. Is that good? Yeah, I think so. Good. When is the Animal Con in Florida? I believe they're announcing dates in the next couple of days, actually. I think this Friday they're announcing it, but it's usually like October, I want to say. Also spent hundreds of dollars to fix it. Oh, yeah. There. You're telling me. Okay. Good branches, I think. I'm like iffy on this one. I feel like if you're iffy on it, you should just replace it. Right? It's this way. It spins. It keeps doing this instead of just being like taunt. Does Venus ever get purple or similar to purple? Purple-ish, more pink. She'll go pink, like peachy, and then she'll go bright pink with like purple hues is how I would describe it. But she doesn't really go purple. Purple females are typically embanjas, which have a little more purples in them. The females, though, will get she's an envelope though, so she's a little bit different. You gotta come down. There we go. Yeah, that branch is in there. Okay, just move you over. Perfect. Yeah, that's way better. Glad I fixed that. Dun, 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 dun. My chameleon is thriving because of your videos and care. Thank you. Joshua, hello. My veil's name is Johnny Ringo. Is that like a reference to the Cartoon Network character? But I've been calling him Johnny John or Junior. My son is also what's been going by lately. I feel that. Neptune had a lot of nicknames, so I'm all for the nicknames. His name is Loki. Oh, that's cute. I do know a lot of chameleons named Loki. Moons are the other option for names. Yes. Does the name have to be this galaxy? No, it could be any galaxy, any outer space name. Anything outer space related. Always open to ideas. I mean, the planets are easy, no brainers, but it can be anything. Whew. There we go. Last one is done. I'm subscribed to you. Thank you. Have you ever been bitten by a chameleon? No. I did an episode on my podcast. There we go. The Wild Type podcast with my friend Lissa's Lizards. And we did an episode all about reptile bites. Like, do they hurt? How to prevent them? What do you do if your reptile does bite you? And so we talked about getting bit. And I said on there, I was like, I've never been bit by a reptile. Huh? How cool does that look, guys? So excited. What would your dream chameleon species be? Mellers, Amy, if you know anyone, let me know. Mellers for sure would be my top choice. They're not being exported. They are not being bred. And so I'm sad because the likelihood of me getting a Mellers, not anytime soon. So that is the dream though. So funny. I did these enclosures a few days ago and I've gotten better at these branches, so I'm just redoing them. It looks great. Are you done? I just have to add plants to this one and then we will be done. So, and then I might mess with them later on, but I will do this one and then I'm calling it. I fed mine a piece of apple yesterday. It was cool. So chameleons are insectivores, so they should not be fed fruits or vegetables. You should feed the apples to the bugs, dust the bugs with the proper supplements, and then feed them to your chameleon. Please don't use the name Uranus. I know. Not that planet. My geckos are desert themed. Cipollina. Oh, I think you meant to say dessert themed. I just looked up the Ambanja. They are really pretty. Yes, they absolutely are. They are stunning. I would like to get another panther chameleon. So I'm between. I think I'm leaning towards a nosy bay, but maybe would get an Ambanja. Google lied. I know. I'm sorry. So I have a YouTube video on fruits and vegetables to feed your chameleon. The whole video is me saying don't do that, and here's why. Google is not the best. Have you ever had a chameleon that only wants to have you after offer them water? Loki won't drink on his own. Maybe he's just extra spoiled. So chameleons don't actually need to be drinking water. If their nighttime humidity levels get to 70% or higher, then they can be hydrated that way. It's a common misconception that chameleons need to be actually drinking. And I think that's just because other species and other animals do that, which like totally makes sense. But as long as your chameleon's urates look good and your humidity is where it needs to be, then you don't need to be like giving them water and you don't need to see them drink. Probably was not expecting that response. Thank you for your help. You're so welcome. I have a 4x2x2. I'm going to guess you meant 2x2x4. Length times width times height. 4x2x2 would be like that. This is a 2x2x4. I was giving you a hard time. I know what you meant. I knew what you meant. Okay. Now I just need one more plant. This works out because I bought 3 more today, and this is the 3rd. So I got the exact number. I'm afraid to feed the insects apples and stuff because I feed them to 3 different lizards. So all your bugs need to be gut loaded. That's just like a thing that all reptiles need. So if you don't feed your bugs fruits and vegetables beforehand, then they're going to be empty shells. So we gut load them so they have all those fresh micronutrients in their bellies before we feed them to our reptiles. So feel free to check out my video on gut loading. Feel free to check out my website, neptunethechameleon.com, because on there I have a list of things that are safe to gut load and things that are not safe to gut load. I also have a tutorial video on how to make gut load ice cubes. They're kind of cool. Check it out. Thank you. Always learning. You are awesome. You're so welcome. LOL. Girl knows her stuff. Yeah. There's a few things in life that I know a lot about, and chameleons are one of them. Like, the amount of information I have just sitting in my brain memorized. Like, no notes, guys. This is just off the cuff. This is just what's floating in my head. Yeah, a lot of time spent on chameleons, and I would not have it any other way. Okay, last one. If you have any last minute questions, you put them in the chat right now. I will answer them, and then I'm going to go sit on my couch and eat some ice cream. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that one is done. I will separate the bugs and feed separately. Yeah, whatever you gotta do. No worries at all. The cages look good. Thank you, Vera. To live close to AnimalCon. I don't share my location on the internet if I can help it, so I will refrain from answering that question. I seen someone the other day that only feeds their lizards pellets. Ooh, yeah, no, we don't do pellets here. We do live bugs that have been gut loaded with mustard greens and collard greens and mango and sweet potato and bee pollen. Stupid. Like, of course, the last one, it couldn't be easy. Make too much sense. Easy. Okay. Try and get these questions before I leave. If you could get another reptile besides chameleon, what would it be? Probably a tortoise. I do love a good tortoise. My only hesitation with a tortoise is that they live. Ooh, don't fall off. Is that they live forever. Not actually, but like they obviously live a long time. So that's my only thing. So like I would potentially like rescue like an elderly tortoise. I think that could be like a good in between. But right now I gotta get through this adventure of all these babies. Our veil commands usually grumpy or defensive. Loki's the opposite, very friendly, likes to chill and not be afraid. Totally depends on the chameleon, and it's not species specific. A lot of times you'll hear, oh, panthers are friendly and veils are mean, and it's not a friendly, mean thing. It's a fearful, defensive thing. And like Neptune was as defensive as they come, and had tried to bite me his whole life. So what was I going with that? Yeah, it doesn't depend on the species. So don't put too much stock in that. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It was fun. Have a good night. Thank you. When did you go live? Whenever I think about it. I don't have a set schedule. Maybe one day we will get there with the set schedule, but don't have that figured out. It's because I just have so many moving parts. But I want to get through these enclosures. So this is 25 of them. Next will be adding the lights, the mister, and then I have to do another like 20 enclosures. Another 15 enclosures. Yeah. So I'll probably have like another rack on this side. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, you can subscribe so you know when I go live and post a new video. Feel free to check out my website, neptunethechameleon.com. Thank you to anyone who has spent their Saturday evening with me. Are these the Neptune babies you're preparing for? Yes, it is. Have a good Saturday, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.